Hi, this is Al Souza with Kraken Studios. We're going to be talking about the diplomacy section for Kingdom Dungeon and Hero. When the diplomacy icon is lit over here, it means that you have a trade agreement pending. The computer will send you trade agreements for about three turns. After that, they won't bother you, except maybe once a year say, hey, remember this? So let's start with the left side. Over here, you have all the flags of the kingdom, and you can click it to go to their capital. A lot of the icons have tooltips over them, so you understand what they mean. You click your home button and go to your kingdom. Alternately, you could left click on the map and go to the kingdom that you want to negotiate with. I'm sure some of you are noticing this screen is a little bit too big to do this, so I added in an open collapse. It shrinks the screen and it makes it much easier to look at all the kingdoms on the map and click the ones that you want to engage with. Alternately, you could just click on the list and it'll take you to the kingdom. When you have a little piece of paper like this, it means that they have an offer toward your kingdom. You could sort a variety of columns over here near the bottom and even reverse the order. If you're familiar with War Plan, it's a similar layout. So let's talk about nature. In my previous tutorials, if you forgot, nature is generally how good or evil a kingdom is. Benevolent is all the way to the good, tyrannical is all the way to the evil, and then everything else in between. But nature is generally a guide, more like Game of Thrones than black and white. Stability is how well your kingdom is doing. The lower your stability, the worse your economy is. Stance is how these kingdoms feel towards you. When a kingdom is at war with you, you just see two crossed swords. The stance levels are enemy, loathing, suspicious, neutral, amiable, friendly, and trustful. When you get to trustful, you can make alliances. When you get to amiable, you can start making some agreements. And when you are in loathing or suspicious, it's less of a stability hit to go to war. Yes, going to war in this game costs you stability for your kingdom. So if you betray an ally, it's going to cost you a lot of stability because your people expect you to be friendly with this other kingdom. You've had all these agreements, you're aligned with them, they're doing trade with them, and now suddenly you go to war and you don't have a reason to give the peasants. They don't want to go to war. So your stability drops, your recruitment drops, and it becomes more difficult to fight. So in this game, you want to reduce, if you're going to betray another kingdom, you want to reduce your stance with them, break your treaties over time, and set your people up to go to war. In the emissary column, the red emissaries are when kingdoms have emissaries in your kingdom trying to improve your relations, either for peace purposes or for trade purposes or for please don't kill us purposes. Your emissary is on the right, where you have emissaries. They're in blue. In this column, you'll have agreements that show up if you have some with kingdoms. So let's go over here to this side and we could talk about what some of these things are. Things that you could do with other kingdoms is that you can do a trade agreement with them, which is exchanging gold, do a collaboration agreement with them, which is exchanging research. You could give them a gift of gold to improve your relations with them. You can instigate them, which lowers your relationships. You could go to war with them, of course. You can accept a peace treaty. And a peace treaty, generally all that does is that it costs more to go to war. You could also have alliances with other kingdoms. This generally means that you're allowed to enter their territory, they're allowed to enter yours. You cannot enter their territory and declare war on them. You have to leave their territory. Every turn you have 4 diplomatic actions that you can do. And this is sending an emissary out, offering some kind of agreement to someone else, but it does not include accepting agreements. In the summary column, you'll see for each of these kingdoms, it tells you their situation with us, it tells you their situation with us, the strength of their economy compared to ours, and the strength of their land forces compared to ours. It also tells you what they are doing. So for example, Ammonon has a trade agreement with Warwick, which is a neighbor of theirs. Down here, it tells you how much stability it'll cost you to go to war. And your stability will drop to what in this case? So going to war with someone can be really, really costly. Let's take a look at these agreements that are sent. Every time that you accept, now we have 3 agreements of peace, collaboration, and trade with Bitterkind, which are good guys. So they're pretty happy. You could always break a peace, it costs you instability, and the trade doesn't cost you anything in stability, and the research exchange doesn't cost you anything in stability. Give gift, which is giving gold to them. Instigate, you can do this at any time. Now during times of war, you'll be fighting and the other side might offer you a cease war, which basically means, hey, let's go to peace and just, we just won't fight anymore. And they could also offer a truce. So when you offer a truce, the person that offers a truce loses stability because they seem like they're weak, and the person who accepts a truce gains stability because they seem like they're strong. But the important thing, neither player can attack each other for 6 months. Right now, we have emissaries that are out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could have up to 4 emissaries out talking to different kingdoms to increase your stance with them. This column description just tells you a little bit about the kingdom. It tells you their advantages also. Over here, it gives you a quick guide to what everything is and what everything costs in stability. The idea of diplomacy is really you want to pick your targets of who you want to militarily take out. You want to pick your allies, or at least kingdoms that might be perceived as a threat, and keep them at bay by keeping your stance up with them. Do encourage trade in this game. The smaller of the 2 kingdoms is the one that benefits the most. The same thing goes for collaboration, but this has to do with the research side. So if the other side does not have a lot of alchemists, are the ones who are going to benefit more from the kingdom that has more alchemists. So let's talk a little bit about the computer opponent and how they think. They think strategically. They're not going to make bad deals. There are some kingdoms in this game, like let's go up here, like the Black Crown, which doesn't offer much to anyone. They're tyrannical, and it'll be very hard to make deals if you are playing this kingdom. It is a challenging kingdom to play, but they are in the corner. To one side, they do face a larger kingdom, and to the other side, they face a kingdom that doesn't like them because they're opposite. They have opposite stances. Let's go back down here. Another aspect about the computer opponent is that if the human player starts getting too aggressive, all the kingdoms will start betraying you. They'll cut off trade, they might go to war, they might band together, they might backstab you. So this is all part of the diplomacy of the game. Played by email games, you could send a message to another kingdom over here. And a little message icon will appear over here to that kingdom. I believe this sums it up for diplomacy. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful.